Hi, welcome to Aphera. Aphera is a fast, intentional, and modern raw photo editor built natively for the Mac. We spent 2 years working on Aphera and take a different approach than the legacy apps. We wanted something very fast, very quick, focused on your photo shoot, gives you that sort of flow and joy of editing that we all miss, and really hones in on lovely images that you're happy to share. Let's work with some images. New project gives me my project window. And I can immediately start importing. So I got a bunch of raw files here. 132 images importing pretty quickly. They render very quickly. Got previews in here. On the left side is your project organizer. So we've got all the images in the shoot. You've got starred images. I haven't selected any, but I can do that very quickly. Let me just do 1 star here, 2 stars there. That one's looking decent, 3 stars. You can see all that. I can obviously work in batch, give those all 3 stars. And you can see these organized by groups of stars that you've assigned. I can reject images, of course. And groups are just free-form ways for you to organize and subdivide any shoot, whether you drag them in by folder and whatnot. Let's talk about editing in Aphera. On the bottom right of the window, you'll see looks and balance tools. Looks are predefined aesthetic presets that you design or choose from Aphera's built-in looks to craft the aesthetic choices of an image. And balance tools are the per image adjustments you make to adjust with basic things like exposure, temperature, tint, saturation, highlight, shadows, so on and so forth. Very quickly, I'll show you a little keyboard workflow. So I'll select this image. As you can see, the panel activates. I can go through 6, Avia, which is a look, 7, chronostasis. I'm just going through looks and assigning them here. I can also double click this image if I want to sort of see them at a bigger scale and do the same thing. Say I like Gambar right here. Balance tools, same thing on the keyboard. Obviously you can use your mouse to do these too. But let's say I want to pump up actually this exposure is pretty good. But I might want a bit more contrast. So I can hit R here and bring up the contrast. I'll bring down the shadows a little bit. That black point. It's not bad, it's not bad. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit down the exposure. That looks great. I want to crop this a little bit. That was just okay. Bring this into about here. That looks good. Now, if I go back out, I like this a lot. I can copy these adjustments on my keyboard and just say that one, yeah, maybe these 3, and paste those. Instantaneously, you can see they've been applied, but not evenly. So this image, I think, too dark. Let's bring this one back up. Maybe a bit of the lift the shadows. These 2, I might want to do a little bit more with. So I'm gonna bulk balance these by selecting both of them. You can see I can immediately bring up the exposure on both of these. So bulk editing is quite quick and super handy. Now, if I want to adjust things a little further, so let's work with this image. I can hit enter and go into the develop view. On the left side are all your looks. These are keyboard assignable. These are the ones I've toggled through. You can also see all the other looks available inside of Aphera. You can drag these around. So, you know, if I want Gambar to be position 8, I can do that. It immediately swaps the keys. It's pretty great. I'm gonna change the background just to get a better sense of where my image is sitting against different things. So using the the comma and the period key, I can change the color background. So here it is on white, and then here it is on black, just to give me the sense of where my curves might be sitting. Let's edit this image on white. So on the light side, we've got raw settings, This is the formation layer and our from scratch imaging pipeline. The balance tools you've seen before. Gambar is the look, and these are the nodes that make up Gambar. I can modify this if I want, but in this case, I'm just going to add to the stack. I want to add a little bit of vignette to it, so I'm going to do that. And I'm presented with the vignette panel. And I'm going to bring it down, bring that exposure down. You can start to see it creeping in a little bit. I want maybe a bit more on the size. And then something really cool about Aphera is we have a hue shift on this. So, you know, as you can see, it's a little dark. I actually want this a little warm. Kind of give me, so it blends in a little bit more of the color. So you can see that's changing a little bit. Same with the tint, that's a little bit green. I might want it a bit more magenta, for example. That's great. You can zoom this in, add to the raw file. I'm gonna sharpen this just a touch. That's pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that image. I hit enter again, I'm back out here. Go through my little background color change. And then if I escape again, I'm back out here. I can copy these adjustments very quickly. Here's another image that's in the similar range. Paste that. Now I'm getting images that are starting to feel of a kind. So I might select all of these. Paste that. I'm getting pretty good results. These images may be slightly too bright for this specific set, so I might actually bring down the contrast a little bit from the balance tools, and that's starting to feel pretty good. Maybe a little bit less warmth, but yeah, these are pretty great. I like this. I can change the view of this, of the grid view. If I want to see my images a little bit bigger or smaller. And then when I'm happy with these, all I got to do is hit this. Here, up in the exports, there's a couple of pre-baked templates we have: archival, web, and social. I can select archival for now, hit Command E or hit export 4. You'll see that up here that it just happened very quickly. And then I can immediately show in Finder all of these images that I just exported. So you can go through your whole shoot very quickly once you've defined a look and an aesthetic that you like, balance per image, export them all, a repeatable workflow each time, and that's Aphera.